everyone, today I'm going to show you my first resupply that I'll be taking with me on my Appalachian Trail through hike. I've purchased these items in Australia and I'll take them to the USA with me. I've checked on the US government website that these items are permissible through US customs, but obviously we'll need to declare them when I get there, and fingers crossed it's all allowed through. The reason I'm doing my first resupply from here in Australia and taking it with me is just to save me some time when I get to the United States. I only have one day from when I arrive to when I depart for the trail, so I wanted to maximise the amount of time that I had before hitting the trail to get some other jobs done, like go to REI and pick up some of the gear that I've ordered online and go to Target and get a SIM card, and I didn't want to have to add going to the grocery store in the mix as well. So I'll show you what I'm taking. First up, I have my breakfast items. I've got a jar of coffee and I will get rid of the glass jar on my arrival. I'm leaving everything in the packaging just so that it's better for the customs people to inspect. They can see the ingredients if they need to. But yeah, of course, want to get rid of the packaging to save some weight once I get to my hotel. So I've also taken along some Ziploc bags to put everything into. Also some Uncle Toby's creamy honey flavoured quick oat sachets so I can make some porridge in the morning. It's got 10 sachets as you can see, but I'll probably have 2 for breakfast, so that'll at least give me 5 breakfasts. For lunch, I usually carry wraps because they stay nice and fresh in your pack. I've got 10 wraps there, so that should make me approximately 5 lunches. Usually have 2 a day. To go in the wraps, I've got some salami, which doesn't need refrigeration, but it's individually packaged so that it stays nice and fresh. I've got some processed cheese to add in with the salami and my favourite peanut butter. For dinner, I've got a range of backpacking meals that just need water. I've got a couple of these that I had from previous backpacking trips that I didn't eat, and I got one for Christmas from my brother. They're quite tasty, but I won't be able to sustain buying those every day because they're quite expensive. In Australia, that Radix Nutrition one was about $16. I've also picked up some dehydrated mashed potato that I can add some bacon bits to. Also add those into some of the vegetarian meals that I've got. And if I'm still hungry, I've got a couple of packets of mee goreng fried noodles. For my snacks, I've got some Shapes Vegemite and cheese flavour. They're absolutely delicious. Box is a bit crushed up because I've been carrying it in my pack for practice with the weight. And I've got a trail mix of some nuts and spiced peas, etc. For my bars, I've got some Carmen's protein bars, which have got dark chocolate and almond. I've also got one leftover muesli bar, nut bar that I had from a previous trip. And then I've got 4 chocolate bars. Continuing on the sweet theme, I've got some sesame snaps. I've got a salted caramel energy gel, which came free with my ultra trail runners from Sherpa Outdoors. And then I've got a stack of Skittles. Probably should have just bought a big bag and dumped them into a Ziploc bag rather than carry all this waste. So that's what I'll do when I get through the border. And lastly, on the snack front, I always carry some dehydrated soups. They're always a nice treat to have when you arrive into camp and it's cold. So I've got a miso soup and just a chicken curry noodle soup to have. So to hold all my food, I've got a Z-Pack Dyneema dry bag. I was initially going to use that to put my clothes and my quilt in, but I decided to put that inside a Cedar Summit compression waterproof bag instead that I already had in order to free up this particular dry bag for my food rather than just use a disposable plastic bag. What I'll do then is put my food inside of an Ursack that I've purchased from REI, and I'll pick that up in the United States when I get there in a couple of days, and then hopefully that will keep my items nice and safe from critters and from bears. Well, that wraps up the food that I'll be taking for my first resupply, and I'll be interested to see what kinds of selections are available on the trail at places like Neil's Gap and in the towns when I eventually get to visit those. Thanks for watching.